Hello all, good evening. Mona madam, Anusha, Vivek sir, Prashant. Yeah, good evening. So I'm extremely sorry. Yesterday actually all of a sudden my system restarted and it took more than 2 hours actually for the updates. So actually it is asking since long time, but this time without asking me, it taken advantage. Okay. So let us start. So hope you are getting my screen right. Yeah, we will discuss. That is not yet completed. So first of all, is my screen visible? Are you able to see my screen? Can you just confirm? Okay. So I guess you are getting my screen. So now here you see, yesterday question is, I will try to write down here. So here you see what I am asking is, so yeah, if you take this table, this particular table, the question is, in each job and department, I'm asking number of employees with this combination, unique combination. So how many employees are there in each combination actually? So how you will write the query for that? Okay. So that is what you see here, the heading part in the group by clause. In last discussion, we seen that only one column actually. So it's not always, it need not be always one column. Based on your requirement, you can go for any number of columns in the group by clause. What does it mean? So you can see here, you can mention more than one column. Okay. So that is what you can see here, department number and job. Okay. Now what we are asking actually, number of employees. So here what it will do, group by, whatever columns you mentioned here in the after group by class, all those columns it will take. Now if you come to uh, this table, you see job, we taken job and DEPT number. So here you can see clerk and 20, that is one combination. Clerk department number 20 is one combination. Is there any other combination say with the same thing? So here clerk and 20, you can see. What does it mean? Is there any other? Yeah. Two persons are there with this combination. That is what you want. You are saying that make a group. So for example, I told you that, uh, what we can say, in a 60 students, whoever got grade A, whoever got same grade and male students, gender. So that means what actually, male, male, A grade, male, B grade, male, C grade. This, suppose three grades are there, assume. Then female, A grade, female, B grade, female, C grade. So you see, so you mention in the group by, for example, gender and grade. Got the point? So these two you are combining actually, grouping. So in male A grade, how many students are there? For example, 10 are there. So for example, 5 are there. For example, 15 are there. So for example, here 10, some random number I'm just giving. Okay. So like this actually. So 16 and 4. So total 60 students. So a similar manner in the group by whatever you mentioned, all those columns combination, every unique combination, it will take, and then whatever aggregate function you apply here, accordingly it will return the result actually. So that you can see department number, job, then count star. So that means what actually? Number of employees in each group. So that is what output you can see here, DPT number, job. So that means 10th department manager combination, only one employee. So you can see here 20 and clerk combination, two employees, 20 and analyst combination, two employees, and 30 and salesman combination, four employees. So 30 salesman, you can see, you can group here. So salesman here 30, and salesman here 30, and salesman 30. That means Martin, Turner, Ward, Allen. So I can mention any number of columns in the group by class. All those columns, it is grouping, identifying unique combinations, and how many are there, and in each group. That if you use count star. Not only this one, you can see I can use sum of salaries. That means in each combination under salary column, whatever number is there, that is summing actually. That you can see here. For example, let us take this combination 20 clerk. So here 20 clerk, then 20 clerk. So you see the salary part 1100 here, 800 here. 1100 and 800, 1900, right? So that is the thing actually. So other aggregate functions also you can use. Suppose I asked that same thing. Instead of number of employees, sum of salaries of each combination I asked. So this is the sum, right? So here two employees. So those two employees total salary. Four employees, those four employees total salary. So hope you got that point easily. Okay. So let us come to the hands-on part. So this is our data. Now let us try to write down the query. Select from from EMP uh, group by job comma DPT number. Okay. Now here you can see job DPT number. Then if you want number of employees in each group, then you can run here. So you can see this is what, whatever result we seen, the same thing. Okay. Now this let us take as a alias name, for example, number of employees. Okay, some alias name. And not only this one, sum of salaries in each group, sum of salaries. So total salary. Okay. Not only this one, you can take other also. In each group, minimum salary. Okay. Minimum min sal and maximum sal. So that is what max underscore sal and average sal. Okay. So these are the other aggregate functions, right? Sal. Now let us run this whole thing. You can observe the result. So you see total salary, whatever we seen, and a minimum salary. So for example, if you come to here, you can observe the difference. You can see whenever one employee is there, that one employee salary is minimum and maximum, same, wherever one is there. But if you have a two, there you can observe actually if both of them same, in this case, both of them is same. That is why it is 6,000. But here you can see 800 minimum and 1100 maximum in those two. So similarly, you can observe the salesman and 30 group. Okay. So Hope this is clear. So you can add any number of columns like this in the group by class. So whatever be the number of columns you are asking, you are placing in the group by class. For those columns, it is combinedly unique data identifying actually. So any confusion you can say here other data. Okay. So just to confirm that, is there any confusion here? Hope you are also practicing parallelly. Yes or no? Yeah. Okay, right. Uh, now, now somewhat important discussion is here. Listen carefully. Okay. This is related to group by class. Okay. I guess we already discussed that also. So just let us see quickly. So select. Yeah, I guess we discussed it. So for example, yeah, we discussed it, right? If I remove job, then if I run this one, what will happen? No problem, right? See, this is select clause is just displaying the data. Okay. In the way, group by clause, whatever columns are there, those columns either you can place in the select class or not. That is optional. If you need in the output, you can place them, those columns. If you don't need, you can remove them in the select class. But the thing is, you should not place any column which is not there in the group by clause. So for example, that is what we discussed right already. If I take ename, okay, so ename is not there in the group by. So what is going to happen? It is going to throw error, you can see. That is what we discussed already in the group by class. Okay, so in group by clause, whatever columns are there, those columns may exist, may not exist in the select class. But in the select class, whatever columns are existed, those columns must present in the group by class. So this is very frequently asked question actually. So they will give some simple query. Okay. So in that you must identify this kind of errors actually. That means semantic errors. That means meaningfully not correct. Syntactically those are correct, but semantically those are not correct. Okay. So that we had already enough discussion on that part. Okay. So now another thing is, now this group by you can apply, you want to apply on only for example, if you take only except 10th department. Okay, I want this group by except 10th department. So what we will do at that time? So here you just add, first of all you need to filter the rows. After filtering, you are going to apply group by clause. That means where DEPT number not equal to, right, because except 10 means 10 you are excluding. So whoever have 10th department, those employees, first of all, you are not considering. You are eliminating them actually, first of all. So as we discussed already, first of all, I think in the first class itself, we discussed this one. Always evolution. Here you see select clause, from clause, where clause, group by clause. Always execution will start from the from clause. That means it will go to the EMP table. It will take this whole data. So that is clear. After that, it will come to the where class. So it will come to the where class basing on the condition whoever satisfying. So now it will come to the first row. So what you mentioned, DEPT number. DEPT number is what? 20. 20 not equal to 10. Condition true. So this row it is going to consider. Similarly, next row it will take 30. So 30 not equal to 10. So condition true. Always if condition is true for a particular row, then only that row is going to take further. Got the point, right? Similarly, row by row, it will cross check the condition. The moment it came to this row, Clark row, okay, you can see 10. 10 not equal to 10. It's false, right? So this row it is not going to take. Similarly, here you can see the King is also in the 10th department. Okay. And Miller is also 10th department. So these three employees is not taking to further actually. So that means 11 records it is taking further. Then what you have group by class. Now on those 11 records, it is applying this group by part. Got the point or not? So that is what whenever you have all clauses, in which order it is executing is also matter. Okay. Now if I run this one, you can see 10th department is not there in the output because you excluded in the condition. Now, what I want to do is here, I want to go for order by class also because we already done, right? So let us see order by class. See, now I want to display the data basing on the job actually in a ascending order. Got the point, right? So analyst, clerk, and then manager, and then sales. So in a alphabetical order, job actually. So I'm just mentioning job. Okay. Now let us see what is in which order. So same thing. When I run this one, this whole data is ready. Whatever, see, order by clause is going to execute always at the end. Okay. Now whatever data you want to return, that is ready. Now order by you mention some column. Now this column it is considering and it is alphabetically arranged. So that is why order by clause is going to execute always at the end. Now if I run this one, so you can see this is in a alphabetical order. You can mention anything. So for example, if I mention number of employees, okay. So then if I run this one, so number of employees you can see in a ascending order 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 4. So in that manner. So and one more thing, what is our observation? Here alias name we used in the order by class. Got the point or not? So that alias have some discussion that we will see some little discussion is there 10 to 15 minutes where you can use the alias names, where you should not use the alias names. That discussion is there. So anyhow, we just taken that one. So instead of that, you can take count to start. So let us see what will happen. Well, just let us play actually, nothing will happen. So you can see. So either you can use a direct name or alias name in the order by class. That is one thing is concluded. Okay. So hope it is clear. Any confusion? So I'm just placing this query in the chat for your practice. So any confusion here? Okay. Okay. Now, okay. So this is what overall group by. And as we are moving, of course, in many places, we will come back to the same thing as a application in other topics actually. Okay. So hope this is clear logically and you are able to visualize whenever You have in front of you, if you have a query, what is happening internally, you no need to have always data. Actually, always they, you with the column names itself, you are able to imagine basing on the query. Okay, so most of the times in the written test, sometimes or in the interview, basing on just columns, if they ask anything, you must be in a position to visualize actually. So that is why you just practice on the CMP table. Anything definitely you will understand. Okay. So now we are going to very important one, that is having clause. Okay. Okay. Now let us see having clause. What is meaning of having? Okay. So you see, it is simple to understand actually. Listen here. So for example, you have uh, employee 1, 10th department, employee 2, 20th department, or I guess here we have a data. Yeah. So here you can see 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. So there are 5 employees are there in the 20th department, 3 employees are there in the 10th department, and 6 employees are there in the 30th department. So you just try to understand normal way. We have a select clause, then from where, uh, group by. Now see having clause. Okay, simple, very simple. From clause, taking the table from the database actually. On the table, whatever data not required, whatever data is required, you are mentioning in the form of conditions here in the where clause. Following. In this table, you have a records. Some records you don't need, some records you need. So that you are saying in the form of condition. That means where clause you are using to filter records or rows. Is it or not? Fine. Group by, it is grouping actually, simply. Is it or not? It is grouping basing on the columns you mentioned here. Now, on top of the groups, some groups you need, some groups you don't need. Got the point or not? So, having clause is used to filter groups actually. Okay. So, what is the clause you are using for filtering the groups? That you must, without hesitation, you must tell that having. So how one record you are eliminating or you are selecting basing on the where condition. Similarly, after grouping, some groups you need, some groups you don't need. So which groups are need, again you are mentioning here in the form of condition. Only those groups you are placing in the output. That is why you can say having clause is used to filter groups actually. So let us see here what is mentioned. So it's very simple. Having clause enables you to specify condition that filter which group results appear in the output actually, in the final output. Okay. So that's it. Uh, okay. So that is basing on something I will tell you. So here you can see this is normal thing and having clause. You are mentioning condition actually. So for example, group by DEPT number. So now I need the departments which have more than some number of employees. For example, more than 2 employees, more than 3 employees. So that is what DEPT number count star. So you can see here. So I am erasing this one. So hope you noted whatever I written here. That is very important. Okay, just note down. Please have a running notes. If any point is new for you, please note down. Now I'm erasing this one. So here you can see what is there. Just see here. In the 10th department, 3 employees. Basing on this one. 20th department, 5. 30th department, 6. Suppose I need only departments which have more than 3 employees or more than 4 employees. So you can see in the 10th department, 3 employees is there. So that record should not come in the output. And this more than 4, yes, this record should come in the output. This is also more than 4. So that is what, for example, you can see this count upon the group if greater than 4, only those groups are coming in the output. That's it, right? So you can see this and this. So that is what, hope it is clear when you can use the group by class. Okay. So here you can see uh, select from EMP group by DEPT number. Okay. So basing on the DEPT number, you grouped it. Now having clause you are writing. So first of all, let us come to select clause. So you want to display DEPT number, and then in each department, how many employees are there? Okay, so that is what count star. Then in the count having, if that count is greater than 4, only those groups you need in the output. Okay, whenever having clause is there, you are talking about finally about the groups, not the records, because you already grouped. On the groups, you filtered. Then after filter, whatever groups are remain, those are coming in the output. So if I run this one, very regularly used one. Okay, so you can see 20th department 5 employees, 30th department 6 employees. That is what came in the output. Now just if I just take only without having clause, and if I run both, you can compare. Of course, it is simple one. Is it or not? So 10th department 3 employees are there. That is why it's not came. For example, if I say less than 4, who will come actually? You can comment. Simple one. If I give count star less than 4, how many number of records will come and what are those? Yeah, what is that one? Yes. Okay. So hope that is simple one. Only 10th department satisfying that condition, right? Less than 4. Others are not satisfying. Is it? Okay. So now let us see one more simple thing. Count. Alias name I given CNT, and that CNT I am going to use in the having clause. Okay. Now you can see if I run. So what is the problem here? Tell me. Invalid column name CNT. What is the problem? So that is what in the MS SQL alias names. For example, even if you give AS, okay. So you see it is very simple that For this one, you given alias name CNT. Alias name you should not use in the having clause. Is it clear? So that is why it is throwing an error. So for example, if I give count star, direct one, then you can see. So as usual, it is giving the output. So alias names you should not use in the having clause. Okay. Yeah. So our understanding is there in the group by only. The main understanding. Having is just filtering the groups. Okay. Hope that is clear. Any confusion here? Yeah. So where clause is unable to filter the groups. That is why we need having clause actually. That is a one simple statement. Okay. So that is what we discussed. Where clause is used to filter the rows basing on condition. Having clause is used to filter the groups created by group by clause. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So that is what actually having clause. Any confusion here? So hope just to confirm everyone, are you practicing parallelly or not? Yeah. Now, uh, just a minute. So listen some theoretical concept. Okay. Very important one. Okay. Uh, we are going to discuss about the keys actually. Really very important. Okay. Listen carefully. Please take the notes parallelly if you want running notes. Okay. So you see, for example, if I take a table, our employee table, okay, the very first thing we must know is candidate key. See, this theoretical knowledge is very much essential if you want to sustain very long in the database. Okay, so that is why please try to understand this theoretical concept. Nothing is there. And again, so what is meaning of candidate key? Suppose if you take a table, okay, assume this is a EMP table. In this EMP table, we are going to have a columns, right? For example, employee number, employee name, okay, and other details. And I have, for example, in India, we have a Aadhaar number, okay, and for example, we have a passport actually. Is it clear? So employee number one, employee number two, employee number three. So like this, we have many employees. Employee names, okay, like this we have. So some salary, okay. So 100, 200, some random number I'm giving. And other number, if you see 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, okay, 172, like this, something. And here, for example, A13, so B20, something I am giving actually. Don't worry about the data. So, okay, now like this we have a data. So what is meaning of candidate key always? Okay. So here you see every record you must identify uniquely. Suppose if I ask you, for example, fourth employee is there, his name is A. Okay. So now you see, suppose if I say employee A salary is how much? So employee A salary is how much? If somebody asks you, what you will do actually? You will come to the database, employee A. Here employee A is there. Here is also there. That means duplicate values are there. That means you don't no need to look at the data. Generally, duplicates are allowed under ename. Is it or not? Duplicates are allowed. So that means it is not unique. Got the point or not? Not unique. That means data duplication is possible under this particular column because definitely there is a same name employees will be there. Or salaries in a company, okay, duplicate salaries. That means same, maybe more than one person have same salary. That means that number is repeated, right? Is it or not? But if you come to the A number, employee ID. So in any organization, every employee have a unique ID. Is it or not? There is no employee having the same employee ID. Is it or not? That means simply no two employees have the same ID. Is it or not? So that means unique. Every employee number is unique. Same thing if you come to the Aadhaar number also. Is there any possibility that two employees have the same Aadhaar number? No, right? This is issued by government. This is issued by your organization. But even it is different bodies, is it or not? That means different organizations issued, but Aadhaar number is, there is no duplication, right? No two persons have the same Aadhaar number. So this is also unique. And similarly, you have a rule that in your company, all employees must have a passport. That means every employee passport number is also unique. Is it or not? No two employees have a same passport number. So that is clear. First of all, what is unique? And also another thing is, suppose there is an employee X, his salary is 300, his Aadhaar number is something, 321, and his number is something. Okay. And this employee, is there any possibility that don't have any employee number? So that means every employee must have an employee number. That means there is no employee without ID. Is it or not? Without ID number. That means not null we are talking. Null means what? Nothing is there here. There is no ID for this employee. But not null. That means something you must provide. Some value must be there. It should not be empty. That's the point. Basing on this, other concepts you are going to understand very easily. Try to understand. This we are going to see even in the hands-on part also. But though it is a theoretical. So theoretical knowledge is more important. Okay. So simply what you can say actually, employee number, Aadhaar number, passport number. Under these columns, every value is unique and there is no empty value. Is it or not? Every row under these columns, definitely some value will be there and that value is unique under that particular column. So just remember, unique plus not null is the candidate key. Who will become the candidate key? Whoever have the data, that data must be unique and not null. So don't bother about the names also. Even if I mention columns names A, B, C, D, E in a particular table T1, 5 columns are there. If I mention that B and E are unique and not null, then you must understand these two are the candidate keys. Got the point or not? So you no need to see the names actually. When you are defining those particular columns, if you mention unique and not null, those are going to become the candidate keys. Okay. Please just confirm, is it clear or not? Simple discussion only. Is it clear or not? Any confusion? Yeah. So that is the candidate key actually. Okay. So who are the candidate keys in this CMP table? Tell me now. Who are the candidate keys? Data should not be duplicate and empty. Okay. So that is what actually employee number, Aadhaar number, passport are the candidate keys actually. Who are the candidate keys in the CMP table? These 3 columns are the candidate keys because this column unique and not null. This column unique and not null. This column is unique and not null. Is it or not? So that is the candidate key discussion. Hope that is clear, right? Because next we are going to see data types and then constraints. Okay, with hands-on. So if you want to have a better understanding on this, you must understand simple keys concept. Okay, so hope this is clear, I guess, right? Next one. Next one, very important thing. This we cannot see practically in the hands-on session, but this we are going to see practically. That is primary key. Okay, even primary key, so simple primary key and candidate key. Okay, what is primary key? One of always exactly one of candidate key is primary key. That's it. So one of the candidate key you will select as a primary key. That's it. So in a table, primary key is optional. If you have a primary key, only one primary key will exist in the table. You may have more than one candidate. So it is simple like, for example, there is a prime minister for a country, right? So, for example, some winning party is there. In the winning party, there may be seniors basing on some eligibility. There may be three or four or five persons are there who are eligible for the prime minister. Okay, but only one person you should select as a prime minister. Is it or not? Whoever is flexible for the most of them, okay, that person is going to become a prime minister. So that's a simple thing. Candidate keys are eligible for the primary key, and primary key you will select basing on your flexibility. Simple. So you see in your organization which one you are going to use most frequently, very easily, very flexible manner. Employee number you will select as a flexibly. Is it or not? Other number you cannot remember, but employee numbers with so and so you can easily identify, right? Okay. So for example, if I select a primary key is employee number, okay, then that is what. So always primary key is subset or equal to candidate, and this is always one. This may be more than one, but the point or not. So that's it. Primary key is done. Any confusion? Is it clear or not? Okay. Yeah. Sorry. And primary key is optional in a table. That part we will see whenever we are going for a hands-on part. This is, as I told, this is a theoretical discussion. Okay. So hope overallly these two things are clear. Now let us go to the next one. Yeah. This is also we are going to see with hands-on session, that is foreign key. Very, very, very important. Okay. Suppose in real time, if primary key, if you are talking about 5 times, foreign key, you will refer or you will use triple times or 4 times than primary key actually. Such an important one for tracing purpose or many things basing on the requirement actually. If you understand the concept, it is very simple. So it is very simple, foreigner. So in India, American will become foreigner. Is it or not? So in America, Indian will become foreigner. That means simply what you can define actually, it is existed somewhere else where its origin is not there. Is it or not? So suppose in India, so American is there. His origin is USA actually. Is it or not? USA is here. So his origin is here, but he existed right now in India. Okay. So that is why he will become foreigner for us. Got the point or not? Same thing. Suppose he is a Indian, here he will become foreigner. His origin is here. Okay. That is why here he became foreigner. Same thing actually here also. Let us try to understand with a simple example, then we will define it. Okay. Suppose in EMP table, we are well familiar, right? So EMP number, E name. Now, let us take directly department number. That is one. For example, let us come here. Here you can easily understand. Suppose if I take select star from emp, so if I run this command, you can see 10th department, 20th department, 30th department. So what is 10th department, what is 20th department, what is the department name? So every, like every employee have a id, similarly every department have some id. But what is 20th name, 20 department name? What is 7369 employee name? Smith. Now here, what is department number 20 name? Got the point or not? So if you want to know this data, you need to go to the other table actually. So just a minute, I guess I didn't yeah. So hope you are also created DEPT table in your tool, in your database. Let me run this one. If you don't have, I am just placing in the chat. So if you don't have, just take the script and run it first of all. Okay. Now, now you can see here, we take an employee table and we have another table now, DEPT. So select star from DEPT. If I run DEPT, just observe the data first of all. 10 meaning is accounting, its location is New York. 20 meaning is research department, its location is in Dallas. So like that, each department is present in different locations and their corresponding names. Now, if somebody asked that, give me the employee details who are working in the accounting department. So now you need to start from department table, then find its department number, then go to the employee table. So that is what you can see here, the employee table. So 10th department means what actually? Accounting. Okay. So now what is your understanding? DEPT number. Now if I run both for better discussion, so you can see this 20 actual meaning is what? This 20 actually existed here. So its origin is here. This is called parent table. This is child table. Here you are using actually. That is why this DEPT number, here employee table, whatever you are using, this will become the foreigner key. That is what foreign key actually. That's it. So that is what we have another table, right? DEPT table. And here DEPT number. Okay. D name, department name, and we have a location, some other columns. So this is primary key here. This is primary key here. And this primary key you are using here. So that is why this will become foreign key. Got the point or not? Suppose if you have a 10, what is this 10 meaning? To know about the 10th department, go to this table actually. So here you have a 10 accounting something location. That is what he is the person. If you want to know about more about this person, go to his origin place actually, original source place. That is what, go to its source place. Definitely foreign key, whatever column here you are using, that will become in the original table either primary key or candidate. That is guaranteed. Got the point or not? Very logical, very important. You have many usages. Okay. So that is what foreign key actually. Is it clear? So here very importantly, you have to note down one more thing is sometimes so this data is coming from where? Here actually. So this will become parent table. Okay. And this will become child table. Is it or not? This just a normal thing only. So from the DEPT table, you are using the data in the EMP table. So that is why this is parent and this is child. Okay. And one more thing actually, in case of primary key part, I forgot to mention, whatever key you selected as a primary key, suppose here T1 table, 5 columns are there. If I give a underline for this table, column A, what does it mean is this is a primary key. So the columns which have underline, either one column or more than one column, those are primary key actually. So here I should not give underline for this, just for explanation I given, but this I must give underline when you are when it is on the paper actually, when it is on the documentation. Of course, in the system, in the hands-on, you will mention when you are creating a table. That part we will see. That is not yet completed. So you will get more clarity on that when we are doing hands-on part for this theoretical discussion. Okay. So hope this foreign key part is also clear. Yes or no? Any confusion? Is it clear? So one simple question I would like to ask you. Here you have whole data. Okay, 14 rows data is there. Okay. Just now we got to know that this is a foreign key, DEPT number in employee table. And here DEPT number is primary key. Yes or no? Okay. Now, basing on your observation, just tell me that is there any foreign key in this table, employee table? Tell me, basing on understanding of this slide, this foreign key concept, is there any other foreign key in this employee table? What is that, if exists? There is no foreign key. Okay, let us see. Check the columns, you will get the idea. Every individual column name you may observe, or you observe the data, you will understand. There is a foreign key. You observe that there is nothing. MGR column is there. 7902 here is there. But this 7902 is coming from where? From employee number 7902. He is the 7902. So here it is primary key or candidate key, or simply whatever data is existed here, that is coming from this column. Is it or not? So MGR is foreign key again. In the same table it is referring. That is the only difference. Okay. So foreign key may be from same table. That is the best example is MGR in the EMP table. Is it or not? Or other table actually. So that is the example DEPT number. That's it. So sometimes people will ask that foreign key need not be always from the other table. No, sometimes it may be from the same table. Foreign key need not be always from the other table actually. So the concept is, if you are using other columns data as a reference here, so who is the manager for the Smith? 7902. So that his number you are using here. One of the employee number you are using here means he is the manager for you. Basing on this column, we have very complex queries we are going to design. Queries for the people, query is complex, but if you know the whatever concepts we are discussing, then at that time that will become very simple. Okay. So hope that is clear. So simply foreign key, you are using some other columns data in another column. So wherever you are using others column data, that column will become foreign, like DEPT number in the EMP table, MGR in the EMP table. And another point is foreign key, uh, wherever it is referring, that may be from the same table or a different table. Okay, it need not be always from the other table. Maybe sometimes in the same table it will refer other columns. Okay, so that is the foreign key. And wherever it is referring, that column, that means parent in the parent table, that column definitely be we can tell candidate key simply. Okay, so data may be repeated for in the column in the foreign key, data may repeat. Is it or not? You can see 20 is there many times, 30 is there more than one time, 10 is there more than one time, and maybe null also. Sometimes it may be null. You can observe in the MGR column. Here for the king, there is no manager because he is the president. Okay, that is why it is null. So duplicate is possible and null is also possible. But the point, these observations really very important. Though you are observing these things in the 14 records, in the real time also same concept. Don't bother about number of records. Concept is really very important. Okay. Real time record is, see, sometimes you need to deal with 10 million records. 10 million means 1 crore records or 2 crore records or so. So maximum I handle 10 crore records. That means 100 million records. You don't see the number and don't worry. Okay. Just the concept. Okay. What is the requirement on that row, on those records? Write a query and execute it. That's it. It will work. Okay. So hope this is clear. Under this foreign key, candidate key, primary key concept. So candidate key is theoretical one for more better understanding, and primary key and foreign keys we will see in the hands-on part also. Okay. So that's all for today. So any confusion or any doubts? Always feel free to ask any doubt. So okay, then if you don't have any doubts, so let us meet in the same time tomorrow. So again, this video also I will send you a link. If you want to refer again, you can refer it, but practice. Okay. Okay, then thank you very much. Good night. Let us meet tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.